Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are St. Louis.
Petco Park in San Diego. Tonight, around Major League Baseball, Roberto Clemente Day, as the great game honors one of its greatest players. Not only off the field, but on the field as well, he exemplified what a Major League Baseball player should be. Clemente Day around the game. This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. And tonight from San Diego, California, it's game number 3 of the 4-game series. The St. Louis Cardinals and the San Diego Padres. Cardinals charging hard here in September. The Cardinals just 3 games out in the National League wild card. Scott Warman is here. That's Jim Edmonds. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Welcome to Cardinals baseball. The Cardinals winning, Jimmy, with young players. They'll turn to another one tonight in Jack Flaherty.
Yes, another young guy on the mound tonight, Jack Flaherty, coming up and having a rough outing in his first outing. But you see here, he's got good stuff. You see some sliders right here, very good. Some go across, some go down. Good fastball, about 94 miles an hour, decent change. But it'll be interesting to see if he can rebound from that first start and come back tonight.
Jose Martinez back in the lineup tonight after an impressive game number 2. To make it 3 wins in a row in this series, they'll turn to the rookie, Jack Flaherty, second ever Major League start. The Padres counter with Dinelson Lamet. We're at Petco Park in San Diego. Starting lineups. First pitch comes your way next. It's brought to you by Bud Light, famous among friends. By Chevy Silverado, the most dependable, longest-lasting, full-size pickups on the road. Find yours at your local Mid-America Chevy dealer. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. The statue of Tony Gwynn, Mr. Padre. Here in San Diego, it's game number 3, Petco Park. Unseasonably warm here in the San Diego area, especially mid to late afternoon. It does cool off later stages of the game, but that's probably one of the reasons why we've seen Jim Edmonds, the ball flying out of this ballpark the last couple of nights.
Definitely did last night for sure. The ball has been hit around the yard the last couple of nights, and talked about last night, you could see the mist kind of float into the lights and into the ballpark, and that hasn't happened the last 2 days, so I don't think it's going to happen today either, and we'll see how it goes.
This young man has pitched very well here recently. Dinelson Lamet, last 6 starts, 2-2 with a 2.36 ERA. Dexter Fowler back in the starting lineup. Fowler, 262 with 15 home runs, and he's driven in 52 on the year. And the 1-0 pitch. First pitch at 95, that one 94. He also has a wipeout slider. The slider, the average against that pitch, 138, 4th best in baseball. Here's a 1-1. And a high fly ball lifted out to right field. Jabari Blash with the catch. It's Fowler, Bader, and DeYoung. Then Martinez, Piscotty, Garcia, Kelly, Mejia, Flaherty. BJC Healthcare difference maker Harrison Bader, 6 for his last 18, and among those 6 hits, 3 home runs. And he lines it into right field for a 1-out base hit. By the way, the right fielder Jabari Blash, playing with a heavy heart, still trying to hear from his family that is dealing with the Hurricane Irma down south. Is waiting for a phone call, an email, a text, anything, and has not been able to hear from his family yet. And the Padres say clearly playing with a heavy heart, concerned playing tonight.
Definitely a concern for a lot of people down there. It's going to be a tough go at it for a few days, I'm sure.
So the base hit by Bader brings in Paul DeJong. DeJong at .285 with the average, 21 home runs. He's driven in 55. The Cardinals, if they can win tonight, they jump ahead of the Milwaukee Brewers. Woke up this morning, Mike Matheny's club, a half game back of Milwaukee, but the Reds sweep the Brewers today. Luis Castillo had another strong outing. Helped Cincinnati in that sweep over the Brewers. The final was 7-1 as Castillo struck out 10, retired 11 straight in one stretch, 22 of the last 24. The Cubs, we learned, just finished up their game, a win, 1-0 over the Pirates. So the Cardinals now 4.5 games back of Chicago in the Central. There's that slider and a pitch that's taken high. Lamet has 40 strikeouts in the last 34 1/3. Opponents only hitting 171 against him, so he's been really good here lately.
You see that velocity and that slider. That means pretty good stuff so far. And location's still the key at this level, but the stuff is there.
Nice play made by a fan to our right. Barehanded catch in the upper deck. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bader with 1 stolen base so far this year, and that happened game 1 of this series. Pitch inside, 97. This guy's got a good arm. Really came out of nowhere for the Padres. And they think that he is part of the building blocks, their rotation for years to come.
I tell you, we've seen a couple guys that can throw from the right side and should be very happy from what they've seen out of some of their young pitchers. If you're starting with velocity, they're going in the right direction.
They're in the bottom of the 3rd. The Giants a 5-0 lead over the Rockies. We'll keep an eye on that. Johnny Cueto is on the mound for San Francisco.
I'm a firm believer you can get a young pitcher to take a couple miles an hour off to get better control. Pretty tough to add some miles an hour.
His last start gave up 1 run in 6 innings, struck out 10. He was matched up with Clayton Kershaw. Lost the game 1-0 to the Dodgers. Things have been going in the right direction. Do you want to start the runner? DeJong does strike out his fair share. Not running on the 3-2, and it catches Hector Sanchez behind the plate. Ouch. How about his time to the plate, Jimmy?
I was going to say
got?
that I don't think he's slow enough, or especially with Bader's speed, you'd sometimes take a chance, but he's below the 1-2 mark, so that's an area maybe you don't run, pretty much run yourself into an out. And that one's going to sting a little bit. It's right off the Bear's shoulder. It's crazy to me if you really think about how much those catchers get beat up and how much of that white jersey you can see sticking out from that chest protector. A lot of area to be hit.
3-2 the count. Bader a little bigger lead this time. Not running. And the pitch is lifted out to left field, sinking, and the catch is made by Pirela. Back to the bag goes Bader to first.
Speaking of being hit, I had a nice conversation with Yachty today about him turning his head. And he said he's starting to notice that when the ball is up closer to his face, that ball straight to the face mask is taking a toll, and that's why he's been turning his head a little bit. He thinks that for some reason that plastic on the side of his helmet, it's the glancing blow is not doing as much damage. And I thought that was interesting because I feel like that plastic is a little probably less safe, and he seems to think that it's better over there and glancing off the head than it is hitting him square in the face.
Yeah, probably not the direct hit that he's talking about.
And he said he's trying to do it with the pitch that's maybe a little bit more up, as I mentioned about going down, backhanding a ball, and then getting a foul tip up in the neck. And he says, yeah, if he starts doing that, you know, let him know, because he only wants to do it when the ball's up in the zone, just face high.
Here's Jose Martinez, fastball at 95. Couple of home runs last night. One thing we have noticed really since last year when he initially came up, there's not many fastballs that will get by Jose Martinez. He's crushing left-handed pitching. That's what he did last night. Waves the bat, jumps in the box, wiggles the bat.
It's amazing too. He's so big, so much movement, and yet can take that pitch right there, 95, without even really offering at it. Sees the ball pretty well.
Pirela, Caesar, Blash in the outfield. Solarte, Ibar, Asuaje, Myers, Sanchez. The defense for Andy Green's club. Around the horn presented by Dobbs. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Well, you think about it, makes sense. Bigger guy, strike zone's going to be bigger, and yet he doesn't strike out all that much.
Does a really good job of putting the ball in play. But like I said, there's such a fine line of really overswinging after a fastball and cheating, which causes you not to recognize the slider. And he does a really good job of both. He can really get after the fastball yet and not overswing, where he can lay off tough pitches.
Here's a 2-1 pitch to Martinez. Hit the other way. Ball will drop and it's out of play. Lamet was signed as an international free agent in June of 2014. Last year, split time between AA and AAA. Their AAA affiliate is in El Paso. AA is in San Antonio. He was 12-10 with an even ERA of 3. Two and 2 the count. A swing and a miss. 97 on the gun. The strikeout of Jose Martinez. Jack Flaherty to the mound when we come back. No decision in his start on Friday. That was in San Francisco. He allowed 5 runs in 4 innings. Cardinals eventually won the game 11-6. So you get the first start out of the way come into this start, you would hope, a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah, a little key to the game. I think that just the second time around, you learn from your first outing. I think he, as Weaver did earlier this year, went out there with a lot of energy and was up in the zone a little bit, didn't have his best stuff. He kind of ran out of gas a little bit, is what I heard, and you know, just learn from that. Really pitch, and don't just go out there and try to throw with all that energy. I think same thing with coming out of the bullpen your first couple times. It's like you have all that adrenaline, and you gotta kind of hone it in, and don't forget that you're out there to pitch and make good pitches. So see how he does tonight, see if he stays under control longer, and really just try to stay out of the middle of the plate, move the ball around, and you got a guy right here, Carson Kelly, that kind of familiar with. So hopefully these two can work magic tonight.
First pitch to Carlos Suaje is taken for a ball. So no Yadier Molina in the lineup tonight. And Flaherty working with his battery mate at Memphis, Carson Kelly. We saw with Flaherty on Friday, Jimmy, that it's there. You know, you would see a really good breaking ball or the fastball that had extra life. Just couldn't put it all together.
Yeah, the key up here again is making those pitches in certain counts when you don't have to get into a count where you have to throw a fastball and everyone knows it's coming. And sometimes that's as simple as a 2-1 slider for a strike instead of that, you know, breaking ball that you can't throw for a strike, and then you have to throw the 3-1 heater.
And a fly ball to the left. Harrison Bader under it makes the catch. And there's one away. Padres lineup: Asuaje, Myers, and Pirela. Solarte, Sanchez, he's a switch hitter. Blash, Ibar, switch hitter. Matt Caesar, and then the pitcher spot, Lamet. So they move up Myers, trying to get him going and hitting in front of Pirela and Solarte.
I like Myers in the 2-hole. I thought he hit early in the lineup last year, and I've noticed when we faced these guys the last couple times and deeper in the lineup, and it's almost like all of a sudden he gets too far down there and you start to pitch around him a little bit, and we can see he can do some damage with the fastball.
No doubt. Andy Green talking about that earlier today, just trying to get him going. Sitting on 24 home runs. Flaherty announced today the PCL Player of the Month. There's Andy Green. As Jack went 4-1 with a 1.97 ERA. That's voted on by the league managers. And a ground ball to short. DeYoung up with it. 2 outs. Cardinals defensively around the horn is presented by Dobbs. Bader, Fowler, Piscotty in the outfield. Mejia, good glove man. We've seen that. He's at third. DeYoung, Garcia, Martinez on the infield. Carson Kelly behind the plate.
Mejia made that play last night, and one thing we didn't talk about was when he went to backhand that ball, it kind of kicked back on him, and you could see his hand turn and kind of caught it up against his chest. I thought that was a pretty unique play, and we didn't get a chance to show it again, but it just goes to show you when guys go in the hole or backhand balls, it doesn't always bounce where they're going to, and you make an adjustment, and he just turned around and fired a strike to first.
He also told me, and this is the play that you're referring to, watch the hop here at the end. Oop.
See it kind of check back up on him a little bit, doesn't even hesitate, and throws a missile over the first base.
Told me after the game last night too, and the ball that turned into a double play, the line drive, said that ball knuckled at the last second on him too. You hit a ball so hard, sometimes it knuckles, as you well know.
Guys square him up. Sometimes they'll knuckle all the way out to center field, and it's not always a pretty sight.
2-2. Pirela with 10 home runs comes in batting .295. 2-2 pitch. Also is driven in 37. And the 3-2 from Jack Flaherty. Just missed on the outside corner. 2-out walk.
See those last couple pitches. If you watch this right here, it almost looks like got a little natural cut to it. just miss on the outside. And that's something too. It's a little bit of a weapon. If you're not ready for that, you got to throw the ball outer half to a righty, and it keeps on running.
Well, coming into play tonight, the Padres' 4th, 5th, and 6th hitters in their lineup, a combined 146 average in the month of September. Primarily, you're talking about Solarte and Myers being there, and that's one of the reasons why Myers was moved up in the lineup. Solarte hitting 200, Sanchez 143, Blash 071. Here's the 0-1 pitch to the switch hitting Solarte. I would imagine over the years that this lineup, and this strike zone, by the way, is tight, but this lineup might be, in terms of salary, one of the lowest the Cardinals have put out there in a long time. And certainly when you talk about experience, not a lot, and yet the Cardinals have a chance to get into postseason play. Two and two.
Such a credit to the organization to keep running young players out there, and when they get to the big leagues, they're ready to play.
Really is, Jimmy. I mean, you look at the Rockies right now, that young rotation faltering. They can't go to their minor league system, bring somebody up, and it's costing them here in September. The Cardinals, all these young players, and ho hum, no big deal. Keep on rolling. Broken bat.
Wow.
Garcia flips to Young, and that bat almost got Sanchez at the on-deck circle. We head to the second, and there's no score. Baseball, stay connected, a fully customizable experience. Home screen icons, app features, as well as game day, video highlights, broadcast, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. Here's Stephen Piscotty. Average comes in at 240, 8 home runs, and he's driven in 35. Top of the second, no score from Petco Park in San Diego. Well, each July there is a new national signing period, if you will. It opens up the international side. Teams looking for talent, in particular in Latin America. They're players who are already 16 or will be by the 1st of September. They're eligible to sign with various clubs. It's rare when a player from the Dominican is signed in his early 20s. And Lamet was signed just shy of his 22nd birthday. That is rare. You don't hear about that very often. A lot of times it's an investment on a kid. They look at the body and they say he'll grow into it. He's 16. He's got a live arm. But this guy just shy of his 22nd birthday.
You like that? Maybe a late bloomer.
Yep. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's the thing about baseball. There's always a story. And they're always crazy. You know, it's a crazy story. So-and-so grew 2 inches after he was in college, or you see guys get 4, 5, 6 miles an hour velocity after certain ages, and it's just guys grow into power in the big leagues. And I hit, I think, maybe 17, 15, 16 home runs in 4 or 5 years in the minor leagues. And my first season playing, I hit 33. You just never know.
The check swing could not hold up. Strikeout. 2nd of the night. And your career high was what, 42?
I think I hit 11 one year between AA and AAA. That was when I started to figure it out, but still, you just never know. Take a late bloomer any day, a guy who's had to work for it.
Here's Greg Garcia. Fielded the ground ball off the bat of Solarte. The bat went in half as it went towards the on-deck circle and nearly caught Hector Sanchez. There's another broken bat. Soft liner. Concentration there. Suaje to make the catch.
Those maple bats.
Were you an ash guy or a maple?
I was an ash guy. That right there is enough to not want to use those bats for me. I did not like the way Albert used to tell me he would hit a ball in the barrel. So I didn't believe him for a while, and then he would come back with a brand new bat with a ball mark on the barrel, and the bat would go flying. And I said, okay, if that's the case, I'm not using it. I don't want that to happen to me. There was a time at the end of my career where they were about to do away with those bats because it was getting dangerous.
Here's Carson Kelly. Give him a lot of credit for how he is handling, and Yachty, the situation of having a young, very good defensive player coming up, #1 catching prospect in all of baseball, and then dealing with what could be a future Hall of Famer that signed up for 3 more years, and both have made it a non-issue.
I really like this young man right here. He's off the field as solid as they get, nice and quiet, just goes about his business, always positive, just a good, solid kid.
Watch him, Jimmy, when he warms up the pitcher. If Yachty's starting, he'll go out in full gear trying to get reps to stay sharp. Ball in the dirt, he's blocking it, just warming up a pitcher. The high fly ball into right center field. It'll stay in the ballpark as the catch is made, and Kelly is the 3rd out here in the top of the 2nd. No score from Petco.
All right, Dan, thanks. And of course, the Cardinals making a deal today as they acquire relief pitcher Juan Nicasio from the Philadelphia Phillies. Talked to General Manager Mike Gersh before today's game, and Danny said that it is unusual to make a trade at this time of the year because if the Cardinals do make the playoff, he would not be eligible for a playoff roster spot. However, he thinks he can really add something to this bullpen as they make the drive through the final few weeks of the regular season. Mike Matheny saying he likes the veteran presence, doesn't think that there'll be a specific role for Nicasio, and he also told us, Dan, that he's making a trip all the way from the East Coast to the West Coast, so the availability is very unlikely for tonight's game, but he will be more than likely ready for Game 4 tomorrow against the Padres, Dan.
All right, good news as the Cardinals bolster up their bullpen here in the stretch run. 1-0 the count on Hector Sanchez, switch hitter, good power, and he pulls that foul. 3-5, a 2.79 ERA for Nicasio. 67 games. Opponents only hit .218 against him. Only 4 home runs allowed this year. And as Scott mentioned, he will not be available for postseason play if the Cardinals get there. And the curveball is pulled foul. He really is a great story for fans that don't remember this. Nicasio was hit on the head by a line drive off the bat of Ian Desmond, and it hit him on the left temple. There was bleeding in the brain, and as he went down, he actually broke his neck. And he has come back from all that to be not only a major leaguer, but a good reliever. Incredible story. We'll see him shortly. Two and two the count on Sanchez. Off the end of the bat and foul.
Paying attention right here. See a guy who pays attention and does what the other guy does. Look, he's alerting the right side of the infield right here that a breaking ball is coming. That's something that you have to do if you want everyone to jump on your bandwagon right there. You can't just show up one day and change the whole system just because you're coming up and you're young. Pay attention and do what the guy in front of you does, and that's what he's been doing, and that's why everyone loves him so much.
You don't see a lot of catchers do that. Yachty does it all the time.
That's something that is a learned thing over time, and he's doing it already, which is amazing.
Popped up left side and out of play. That's Cardinal country down there behind the St. Louis dugout. I was watching Carson Kelly warm up in the bullpen, a pitcher, the other day. Full gear. And again, just working on, he told me what he's trying to do. Keep the soft hands. Try to get as much of what could be live action under his belt. He knows that the playing time is limited. 3-2. Ground ball that's hit to short. DeYoung with it. And he makes the play. If you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app, take Fox Sports Midwest, and Cardinals baseball with you wherever you go. Here's Jabari Blash hitting just .212. Mentioned it last night, but the Padres using Skip Schumacher, at least for the time being, as their hitting coach, kind of a co-coach, if you will, with Mark McGwire.
Yeah, he said that they're kind of just searching to find some guys to help out right now just to get them through the season, and it's a great opportunity for him.
Mejia is smooth down at third.
He is smooth. I mean, not to mention, get a guy like that is one of probably the best teammates of all times, and he can still hit a little bit. Taking Brad Thompson deep a couple weeks ago. I know I said that before, but it's impressive. But it was a bomb. You're right. It was a bomb, Danny. And I just like, he's just a baseball guy. I really like the fact that he wants to do this. He wants to get in the front office, and they asked him for this if he wanted to take a chance at this, and that's what a great opportunity.
Eric Ibar hits it down the right field line and foul. By the way, I want to be on the record. I did not say it was a bomb. Okay.
Well, I was trying to tell you, yeah, you're right. Last night when I said it was a bomb, it was a bomb.
Because I really like Brad, and I really like Skip too.
I love Brad, but they have a great little rivalry going, and he won the last time they faced each other. That's why he's laughing. He knows we're talking about it, and he knows Brad's flaming hot right now too. I didn't even move. I was standing in center field and just went, there goes a homer.
Like those two were messing with each other. A couple of rings for those two. 06 and 11.
Some good teammates right there.
Two balls and a strike on Eric Ibar. Martinez will take it with the backhand and steps on the bag. So Flaherty is settled in. No score after 2. Ball is brought to you by your local St. Louis area Volkswagen dealers. Visit VWDealer.com. And by McDonald's. Cardinals hit a home run. Get a free McDouble or frozen beverage the next day with the McDonald's app. Download it for exclusive deals. The ballpark in an area that has been transformed here in downtown San Diego, as you well know, Jimmy, being from Southern California. It's really turned into a neat place. Mejia fouls it back for strike 1. A little bit low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Cardinals hoping at some point Jed Jerko returns. Matt Carpenter had a cortisone shot in his shoulder, so he'll miss a handful of games. Mejia getting a shot at it. No pun intended. Martinez getting a look at first base. Young players a part of what's going on here. Here's a 1-2. It's another broken bat. It chipped the bat.
Not gonna say it. Not gonna say it.
Big happy birthday to one of our cameramen, Greg Lilly. Greg is 70. And the last time we wished him a birthday, I thought he was 78, but he's 70, and happy birthday, Greg.
Watch out for that guy over your shoulder, too.
Yep. Here's a 1-2 pitch. 2-2. 2-2 pitch. In the dirt. Did not go. Here's a 3-2. In the air. Down the right field line and a foul ball. This is Roberto Clemente Day around Major League Baseball. Honor the legend, Roberto Clemente, the former Pirate.
That story to me still is incredible.
A swing and a miss. So Mejia, the third strikeout. Humanitarian, wonderful baseball player, 3,000 hits, died tragically. And look at this arm. Wow. Absolute cannon for an arm and right. Many believe number 21 should be retired in the game of baseball, and count me among them.
I'm with you on that one.
The strike to Jack Flaherty. Flaherty hits it foul and out of play. 15-time All-Star, 12 Gold Gloves, and even 3,000 hits. The MVP in the National League in 1966. World Series MVP in 1971. Flaherty towards second. 2 outs. Fans can purchase a special theme ticket to Budweiser Bash. Get an exclusive bobblehead and autograph from Willie McGee. Tuesday, September 12th. Purchase your tickets at cardinals.com/budbash. That'll be one of the more popular Bud Bashes of the year. Willie McGee. Here's Dexter Fowler. Two outs and nobody on. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Dexter back in the starting lineup, flied out to right. First time up.
Starting to notice that both of these catchers are doing a really good job of catching the ball around the plate. I feel like the umpire's going to start catching a little heat because they're making pitches look like strikes.
Noted earlier, the strike zone is tight. 2-1. Cubs a winner today over the Pirates, 1-0. Giants a 5-1 lead. That's in the top of the 6th. The 2-1 pitch to Fowler. A strike.
See how he gets outside of the strike zone and kind of turns his body back into the strike zone, and that is what he's trying to do is he's trying to get the glove and push it back across the plate, but it's also giving the pitcher a better spot to aim for, trying to get out there on that corner.
3-2 the count.
I feel like sometimes as a pitcher, you're throwing the glove, obviously, but it is a lot easier target to pick up the middle of the catcher's body, especially when you're worrying about guys on base and doing things. You see, again, going way out there and trying to push his way. Get the fastball or whatever's out there to push it back towards the middle of the plate.
Breaking ball, tap foul. You shade him a bit towards left center, the 3-2. And a 2-out walk. Cardinals have their second base runner of the night. Harrison Bader has the only hit, and he steps in.
He's making a nice adjustment second time through, coming back up from the minor leagues, and even that first at bat just kind of took a fastball away and just kind of threw it out there instead of taking that big swing and trying to do too much damage. Like so.
Well, you adjust as you go.
You have to take your spots, take your chances here and there, and you got to know. I mean, I think, you know, swing the bat well. You see a guy, you know he's going to throw fastballs at 97, and sometimes you have to go and take a chance.
I was talking with Harrison today at the team hotel, and he said it's been a little easier than probably what most rookies go through because so many of our guys from Memphis are here. You know, you can go out to eat, and it's Paul DeYoung, and it's Carson Kelly, and it's Luke Voigt, and the list goes on and on. I said, you should have broken in with Edmonds, Roland, Will Clark. I said, you would have had a real fun time.
Better dinners. I'm a firm believer of, and you know a guy is going to help your team in the future, whether it be right now or next year. Bring him up spring training, let him get comfortable.
Force play at second. We head to the bottom of the third, and there's no score. No score as we take a look at our Kia in the driver's seat. Jack Flaherty getting set for the third inning. Lynn, Weaver, Martinez, Waka. We talked about it last night. You get good starting pitching, gives you a chance to win. And that has been the case here for the Cardinals recently.
Yeah, they've been outstanding. It's another good thing right there. Look at that hair. Just another thing for these young guys to learn. Just keep watching what they're doing. Little competition out there. They talk about like having a good competition between the players. Even in spring training, they're leaning on each other, but they're also fighting for a position. Well, Same goes for right now. I mean, you don't want to be the guy to go out there and have the one bad start, especially after you've seen 4 or 5 in a row that have been good.
0-2 the count on Matt Caesar.
Would you say that that was like a fuchsia hairdo, or is that more on the purple side?
Probably say more purple.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, guess it just depends on what light is shining on it the right way.
Mr. Young, he makes the play. He's been busy tonight. Here's what I say. I don't care what you do with your hair. I could care less. Just be ready to pitch every 5th day. How about that?
Just those shutouts.
Just do what you did the other day, and everything will be just fine.
You know what? You know what you don't notice about him from watching him on TV and from a distance? He's put together. He's pretty solid. You don't really see that on TV.
Shallow right, late break, and it drops in for a hit and scoots past Piscotty. Base hit for Lamet. Never got a good jump on it.
I hate to say it, but this is just not knowing your hitter.
Ball's got to be caught.
Well, I mean, it just feels like he just kind of didn't see that the pitcher was hitting right there. And I think sometimes when you just see the swing, if you're not paying attention to the hitter, you get caught off guard. And it's tough when you see a big swing sometimes and you expect the ball to come off the bat and go over your head. And be hard pressed to see a pitcher to be able to hit a ball over the right fielder's head.
Just over to Young, sliding forward Bader. What a nice play that is.
Nice play. That's a, even though the pitcher's on it, that's a regular runner right there. That's a run saver right there.
Well, that's a good play. That goes by him. Fowler is there, but that makes sure that Lamet does not go to third.
He doesn't make that play at second and third with 1 out. You got a chance right here for Will Myers. All he has to do is hit a fly ball to right field, then it's a run. I hate that play because I could never do it.
What, sliding like
yeah,
that?
I don't know why. I just could never make that play. But when you can cut it off like that, more power to you, and that's a great job. I hate that play because I don't know if I've ever seen anyone make it as good as he just did.
It's a heck of a play. Now Myers. Going back to Carlos Martinez for a moment. At the team hotel yesterday, he came up to me and said, thank you for mentioning the foundation and what I'm trying to do. And he actually had a shirt that was cut off. He is put together, man. He is a solid kid.
Yeah, he's not one of those skinny kids that's throwing 97. He's got, it's why you see when he runs the bases and he swings the bat and does the things he does. He catches the ball on the run towards third base and throws it to first. I mean, he's a pretty good athlete. He can do almost anything out there on the field.
I think his body has really changed since he initially came up. He's gotten stronger. He's gotten bigger. He's grown into the body. You know, initially he came up, he's a fireballer out of the pen, hitting 99, 100. And he does that occasionally when he starts. It's still there when he wants it.
Just growing into the hair.
Two and two the count.
I don't know if that crossing had to cross him up, but it also backed up on him too.
So this is a big point in the game if you're Jack Flaherty. You had the base hit into right from the pitcher, ball that should have been caught. Then the line out. Now Will Myers. He's been an all-star, rookie of the year. 2-2. Hit out of play.
Gotta stay out of the middle of the plate right here. This is a big at bat.
The 2-2 pitch. Off the end of the bat.
A little tight slider right there.
Mentioned a lot of family and friends here to watch Jack Flaherty from the state of California, LA to be precise. A little bit low, 3-2. Bases are loaded. Second walk by Flaherty. Kelly out to visit along with Derek Lilliquist. Don't miss Country Music Night presented by Q in the Lou. Friday, September 8th. Purchase of a special theme ticket. You'll receive a one-of-a-kind country-themed Cardinals snapback hat. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com/theme.
This is right here where you can't get discouraged. You still had a base open. You had a good hitter there. Good fastball hitter. You have a fastball pitcher. You go out there as a pitching coach and you tell them, hey, listen, you're still one pitch away from getting out of this inning. Concentrate on getting the ball down. Make whatever pitch you were supposed to make to this particular hitter, and you get yourself out of the inning with a ground ball.
Pirela has grounded into 7 double plays. Ball 1. Ground ball. Mejia steps on the bag. Out at first, double play. Martinez holds on. The Cardinals needed that. Flaherty needed that. Mejia starts the double play. Coming into play on the State Farm double play moments ago to end the third.
Arm and glove and footwork. Nice play right there. Steps on the bag, shifts across. Nice play by Jose Martinez, also staying on the bag and making that pick.
All 6 of them needed with that stretch and pick. Got a big Cardinal fan watching tonight named Jeffrey Whitleys. celebrating a birthday, Jeffrey Whitley, and he's going to be a guest of mine next homestand. We're going to have him come to the ballpark.
You can sit right here in my seat.
Come on up to the booth. Happy birthday, Jeff. Looking forward to seeing you. Lamet back to work. It's DeYoung, Martinez, and Piscotty. Breaking ball to DeYoung. He flied to left first time up. Famous date in baseball history, and there's a bunch of them. Here on September 6th, Cal Ripken broke Lou Gehrig's consecutive game streak. This date. Amazing run. 6 players this year have played in every game for their team. 6 total in all of baseball. There's a strikeout of DeYoung. It was at Camden Yards, 1996, against the Angels, and my partner was there that night.
Amazing night. Amazing night. Night was so special, I believe, for everyone, but for him. The President of the United States was there to see it.
Bill Clinton was there.
Bill Clinton came in and said hello to everyone and came to both sides, which was nice of him to do. And
it was
crazy evening.
The impromptu lap.
His
guys forced him.
They forced him.
So get out there, take the curtain calls, and then he made the lap around the ballpark. I'm assuming you were in center field that night?
Yes, I was.
Did you shake his hand as you?
No, sir. I walked in towards second base. I didn't want to get anywhere near that.
That's his moment. Let him have it.
But I hit a double the next inning or the inning after that. Got a chance to say congratulations, and he came over and said hello, and it was nice. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Alcides Escobar owns the current longest streak at 308 consecutive games. So
he's almost there.
He's only 2,324 away.
That's unbelievable.
Really is. Most consecutive games by a Cardinal this year may surprise some. Paul DeYoung, 31 consecutive games. By the way, he's the only Cardinal with 10 or more straight that he's played in. That is hard to believe, too.
Well, and that's getting harder and harder to do in this era. There's a lot of matchups, a lot of people believing in rest. Definitely a different era these days.
Last Cardinal to play every game of the season. Strike shortened year of 1981, so I'm not sure it really counts as great as a full year would be, but that was Keith Hernandez in 1981. The last full season for a Cardinal to play every game was Kenny Boyer in 1964.
I'll tell you what, I mean, you just pay attention to baseball for a couple of months. Being a shortstop is a grind. That job, those guys are getting them back in the day, slid into diving, throwing, running out of the outfield. That guy was the captain. He got hit by pitches, go through slumps, go through periods where things aren't going right, and then, like I said, the wear and tear on your body, unbelievable.
No slide rule at second base. They could put you in left field if they wanted to.
Holy moly.
You hit on something very important that the Cardinals are trying to get to be really at the forefront of, which is looking at how to rest players as much as they can to get, you know, optimum results with rest, proper nutrition, those types of things. Sunk a lot of money into that, trying to figure out what's the best way to get that starting 9 every single night out the best chance to win.
I felt like if it was in my position as a player, I knew when I needed a day off. And usually it's when you're struggling and everything's heavy. Feet are heavy, bat's heavy, legs are heavy. But it's always about that time, and all of a sudden you run into a fastball for a homer and you're thinking, man, I'm almost taking today off. So I think you just don't want to come out of the game ever.
Walk to Martinez, hustling down to the first base bag. Second walk issued from the right-hander. When you look back at the Cardinals and the success that they had mid-2000s with their drafts and really churning out player after player after player, it was a mix of not only the old school scout, but sabermetrics, analytics. Cardinals were at the forefront of that, and now the rest of the league is kind of caught up looking at how they do it, and now can they be that team that is able to get guys rest?
That guy right there in the red sweatshirt, middle left, that's the guy who you have to pay attention, needs days off. I felt like the catcher is at the forefront of that. They need to learn how to make a catcher that can go out there and do that.
Deep right, stays in the ballpark as Piscotty gave it a ride.
He's the guy who's most important to your team as far as rest is concerned, in my opinion. And if you can keep him fresh, especially like a guy like Yadi Molina, that's where you start.
But isn't that Mike's job? He's got to take that decision away from Yadi and say, look, I know you want to play, but we have to keep you fresh somehow.
But that's where you have matchups and talks, and you know your personnel, and it's almost like spring training when they would come to you and say, okay, here's what we're going to do. How do you feel about this? And you kind of say yes and no, and how about this and that. And you got to be honest with the manager also. And I think that Mike knows, and you can see when guys are struggling. And if you can be honest as a player, you get better feedback, you get better relationship, and I think you get a better season in the long run.
So 2 outs, runner at first. Here's Greg Garcia. Hit a soft liner to second baseman his first time up.
But like I said, you know, it's such a fine line, because some of those days that you're not feeling your best, you just kind of go out there and relax, and that's when you run into a slider and you hit it for a homer, and sometimes that's a game winner. So it's tough to make that decision. I always felt like the hardest part too is when you feel the worst is when you're playing really well, because you're just beat up, your legs are tired, you've been running, you've been sliding, you've been hitting.
Garcia with a fly ball down the left field line and out of play.
Feel like when you're 0 for 20 and your mind is at the worst it can be, your body's fresh because you haven't really been doing anything. So it's a grind on both sides.
And you would know, I mean, a day off, it doesn't sound like a big deal, but over the course of 7 months, 1 day off for a major league player, it's a big deal. With that in mind, the schedule changes next year, and for the most part, a day off just about every week.
Playing in the Central, where do you want a day off at as a hitter? Not Pittsburgh, not Cincinnati, not Chicago.
St. Louis?
At home?
Don't want to do that. Well, people were paying big bucks to watch you play.
Exactly.
Two and two the count on Garcia. Fastball up and away. Play behind the runner at first, and the 3-2. High strike. Garcia can't believe it. Hasn't been a strike all night. Strikeout number 5 is Greg getting a look at the video board. Oh my goodness.
Yesterday, Major League Baseball named Adam Wainwright as the Cards nominee for the Roberto Clemente Award. Mike Matheny addressed today talking about Waino getting this recognition.
Just giving people that are constantly doing things, not just in our community in St. Louis, but all over the world. They're in Haiti, and they're finding out ways to help get healthy water to people. I mean, just they just have this heart to make a difference in the world. And I think one of the things that they think about last is how they'll be recognized for it. They know that's what they should be doing, and it's good to see that people are noticing and encouraging them to continue to do that.
Dan Waino's foundation, of course, big league impact, helping people worldwide. Back to you, Dan.
Big league home run. Solarte, long shot into right, 1-0 San Diego. We saw him have a 6 RBI night against the Cardinals. Those were with pitches that were down. That one was up, Jimmy.
Yeah, he's obviously a pull hitter. That was a changeup up.
High fly ball, right center, Fowler over and makes the catch. Sanchez is 0 for 2, and it brings in Jabari Blash.
You can tell he's a little frustrated right there. And like I said, I think this game is so different up here at the big league level, and that's just really a missed location with the changeup, and you can see what happens to it. I mean, it's one little pitch cost you a run so quick.
Scott talking about the Clemente Day around Major League Baseball. Congratulations to Adam and his family. Such a honor to be the pick from the Cardinals organization, have a chance to win a very prestigious award. Something the players do not take lightly one bit.
Well, I like what Adam's been doing with that big league impact. Is he's not only doing stuff in St. Louis, he's got guys on board with him all over the league, and they're running that in that NFL draft or fantasy draft, if you would, in a bunch of different cities, and he's got a bunch of guys on teams in the big leagues doing it with him, and you're playing against not only our guys but guys around the league also.
Gotten the chance to know Adam over the years, one of the real good people in the game and in all of pro sports. 3-1 pitch, 3-2. With all the devastation down in Houston, what's happening now in Florida, you praise guys like Carpenter and Wainwright, other athletes giving to help those in need, like Roberto Clemente. And there's a walk. Get ready to start your day with First Things First, weekday mornings on FS1. Hosts Chris Carter and Nick Wright kick off the day with the latest in sports. First Things First, weekdays at 5:30 on FS1. Third walk, and it brings in Eric Ibar. Ibar grounded out to Jose Martinez, first time up. The Brooklyn Dodgers signed Roberto Clemente. That's right, the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1952 to their AAA team in Montreal. $10,000 signing bonus. He was used as a bench player. Not many know this or remember. Here's a 0-1 pitch. And MLB rules stated that any player given a bonus of more than $4 grand had to be on a major league roster for his entire first season or be eligible for the rookie draft. And that's how he wound up with the Pittsburgh Pirates. They selected him first overall in 1954. Pirates had a center fielder by the name of Earl Smith. He wore number 21. And until he parted ways with the team in 1955, Clemente wore number 13. Then shifted to 21. Here's a 1-1. Good pitch. With the exception of 1968, Clemente hit over .312 every year from 1960 through 1970. Won a Gold Glove every year between 61 and 72, 12 straight. Shares the record for most Gold Gloves by an outfielder with Willie Mays, who had 12. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Called, third strike. And Clemente, the first Hispanic player to accomplish many feats in the major leagues. Good breaking ball there. First to win a World Series as a starter, league MVP, World Series MVP, elected to the Hall of Fame. But his impact was greater off the field. And that's why so many of us believe that number 21 should be retired in the game. You should never forget what he meant to baseball. Here's Matt Caesar with 2 outs.
It's last couple pitches starting to pitch in, and I think that he's losing his effectiveness with his off-speed stuff because he hasn't been pitching in. And I like the fact that he's making an adjustment right here and trying to get the ball inside, not up and in, but down and in. And we got to keep the hitters honest. Can't just keep throwing fastballs out over the plate. It really takes away the effectiveness of your breaking ball because you get letting guys let the fastball travel and let them try to hit the ball the other way. Then you pick up the breaking ball a lot easier. You have to start speeding up the hitters with your eyes, trying to pull balls in. Makes that off-speed stuff devastating.
Caesar grounded to short first time up. 1 ball, 1 strike.
See right there, even just the fastball up and in, even not even a good slider right there, got a little buckle out of Caesar, and there's no way he can even swing at that pitch.
See the strike zone shift a little bit higher for the hitters. Unfortunately for them.
I was going to say, I'm not sure if that's the way it's supposed to be.
Wasn't that way earlier in the game. It was really tight. 1-2 the count. Liner and caught by Martinez. May have been going foul, but with him holding the runner at first, makes the play. The home run hit by Solarte, his 16th. Beautiful night here in San Diego. 83-56, running away with the American League Central Division. A 1-0 Padres lead. Carson Kelly, Alex Mejia, Jack Flaherty for the Cardinals. Along with Jim Edmonds, I'm Dan McLaughlin, and Scott Warman is with us as well. Kelly fly to center, first time up. Cardinals received a pair of walks. They've struck out 5 times, 1 base hit. That was Bader back in the first inning. We thought that this right-hander could be tough, and he has been so far.
Well, anytime you throw 97 with a sharp slider slash breaking ball, got a little idea where it's going. It's going to be a tough night for the hitters.
John Gant starting to throw in the Cardinal pen. There's Gant, 2 balls and no strikes. Four-pitch walk to Kelly, and the tying run is on here in the top of 5. Join us for Perino's Better Together Pet Adoption Days at the ballpark September 13th and 25th. Head to Ford Plaza prior to the games and meet adoptable furry friends from the APA and the Belleville Area Humane Society. Tickets at Cardinals.com. The one thing that happens in September that you'll notice, especially with a young guy like Flaherty, and especially with not a lot of offense, you can pull him early in a game with expanded rosters, and you know your best shots might be midway through the game offensively.
Yeah, and you also, well, like you said, you don't have to worry as much if you're.
That may change it there. Double play, 6-4-3 on the double play.
So you're not going to have to worry as much if you're the manager having to take a guy out early in the game with a couple extra guys in the bullpen.
Taylor made 6-4-3 on the double play, and Flaherty will hit for himself now. One ball, one strike. Flaherty grounded to second, first time up. Aledmys Diaz homer twice, Tyler O'Neill another. Dakota Hudson 6 innings, 4-1 Memphis playoff game tonight. Diaz playing second base in that game, and they take game 1 in postseason play. The 2-2 pitch. Flaherty a strikeout, 6 tonight for Lamet. 30,000 fans 16 and older take home a unique Kelly Green Cardinals jersey, courtesy of Cooper Tires. Visit cardinals.com/promotions for tickets. Palm Beach won tonight, named co-champions. Peoria won game one as well in a walk-off. So the minor leagues, you know, a lot of those guys are here
going strong,
and they're still winning games.
They had to pull some kids out of the high schools.
It's incredible
to fill the bottom levels. You got A balls in AA, double A's in AAA, triple A's in the big leagues, and they're still winning.
Tell you what, it's a credit to John Mozeliak, Michael Gersh, Gary LaRocque, the staff, the job that they have done. Randy Flores with now leading the drafts and still churning out player after player after player. I mean, it's just not supposed to be that easy, and yet the Cardinals are finding ways to fill holes even in September and still win at the lower levels.
I'm sure the guy with the bow tie just rolled his eyes at you right there and said it's not easy, but they're making it look easy. Doing a great job.
And a swing and a miss. Strikeout of Lamet. Second strikeout for Jack Flaherty. Good breaking ball there from Flaherty. Carlos Asuaje. He's 1 for 2. No balls and 2 strikes. And the 0-2 in the dirt. Watching Flaherty in his first start reminded me when Luke Weaver came up last year. You know, you can just tell he's a young guy, getting his feet wet, seeing what it takes to make it at this level. And then sometimes you saw a breaking ball and you go, whoa, good pitch. It's there. Now we're seeing with Weaver more consistency with his pitches, and I'm sure at some point we're going to see that with Flaherty too.
Yeah, and even this year, I think when Luke Weaver came back, he was so eager to show everyone that he belonged. He kind of went a little too hard early in his first couple innings and ran out of gas just from the grind of trying to do too much, and then all of a sudden he just figured it out, went out there and just pitched and moved the ball around. He wasn't trying to overpower guys earlier in the game, saved his velocity for when he really needed it. That's just something to look forward to with Flaherty too, because I think these guys with good arms just need to learn how to control themselves and their emotions and their energy just to get through a game up here. Sometimes in AAA you might be pitching against guys 7, 8, and 9 where you can just throw fastballs by them, a couple breaking balls here and there. You just can't do that easy at this level.
3-2 pitch. Ball back again. You got to think that Weaver, Flaherty will be part of the rotation next year. Adam Wainwright comes back. Alex Reyes coming off a full year to the Tommy John surgery. 3-2 pitch, and he walked him. Walk number 4 for Flaherty. T-Mobile unlimited baseball break. Billy Hamilton left today's game against the Brewers with a fractured thumb. He's on the DL. Indians, as Jim Hayes mentioned, their studio hit. They've won 14 straight. And tonight, Arizona at Los Angeles tied 1-1. That's in the bottom of the 4th. Arizona has won 12 straight. Update on the Giants score. They're in the top of the 8th, and San Francisco an 8-2 lead over the Rockies. Will Myers at the plate. Grounded out to short and also walked. Ryan Sheriff, the lefty, getting loose in the Cardinal pen. Time granted late. That's too late.
I hate to see that. You can see if you had your head down and weren't paying attention, you wouldn't know if Padres were on the hill or the Cardinals were on the hill. A lot of noise coming from the Cardinal fans.
Good fastball at 95. 0-2. Cardinals turn to double play back in the third. And here's the 0-2 pitch. Got him. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 3 tonight for Jack Flaherty. Jose Pirela. 0 for 1 tonight with a walk. Jack is from Harvard Westlake High School, prep school in Los Angeles. Good baseball team with some of the best pitchers, young pitchers in the game today. And there's Jack there on the left. Max Fried now in the rotation for the Braves. Lucas Giolito, 16th overall pick in 2012. Flaherty drafted a little later, but you get the idea. That high school producing some big arms.
It's pretty impressive all at the same time.
Again, a good fastball at 95. 0-2. Fastball has improved as we've gone along. Oh, 0-2 pitch.
I think he's done a good job of mixing pitches, which allows him to maybe have a little extra velocity there when he needs it. Moving the ball around, using his slider, throwing his breaking ball a little bit more as the game progresses.
Foul back, stays 1-2.
And that's the pitch right there. You see trying to throw the ball inside, and that little cut maybe. I don't know if that's overthrowing or if he has a natural cut to it, but this is the ball you can't throw in the big leagues. Trying to get it in and then throwing it right down the middle, it runs back over there. That's like a righty trying to throw a sinker into a lefty and having it run back over the plate. Hitter doesn't know where you're set up, and all he knows is that ball's right down the middle for him.
Here's a 1-2. See if the Cardinals extend Flaherty beyond this inning. Get him through 5, maybe go back to the pen. Especially with the heart of the lineup coming up. Something to think about here for Mike Matheny. The Suaje at first, no stolen bases on the year. The 2-2 pitch. Off with the pitch and the 3-2 from Jack Flaherty. Struck him out. Could have been his final pitch of the night. He strikes out the side here in inning number 5. Let's see if the offense can't get going. Top of the lineup coming up. Around Major League Baseball, honoring the life of the Pirates great. Mentioned this date in baseball history. Flashback, Cal Ripken, 1995.
Oh my goodness, he's done it again!
1995, 2,131. Pushed out from the dugout. There it is, what we were talking about earlier, and then made that lap around Camden Yards.
Tell you what, gotta love Chris Berman.
A strike to Dexter Fowler. That'll be it for Flaherty. So his night is through. And Fowler takes a ball high. With Mark McGwire going into the Cardinals Hall of Fame last, I guess what, a couple weekends ago now. He pointed out to me he felt that Cal Ripken and what he did, and then the home run chase with he along with Sammy Sosa, those two events brought back fans to the game of baseball after a terrible work stoppage in 1994.
And there's no doubt it needed a boost for sure. Cal Ripken's streak kept going. That was, like I said, 96, and then 97, then 98 with the McGwire deal. 95 got off to a slow start. Those guys really did a great job of bringing baseball back.
A strikeout of Dexter Fowler. That's 7 tonight for the Padres right-hander. Kubota power stats, most home runs among rookies. Cardinals all time, they're going to break this record. 2017, 41 home runs hit by rookies.
I'd like to see him catch that tonight.
Strike to Bader.
Is that asking too much?
Not at all. You got to be greedy sometimes. Bader, the only hit tonight for the Cardinals. It's that out of play. 0-2. The second hitter of the game. Base hit to right by Bader. And since then, Lamet has been outstanding. 1-2. Bader a swing and a miss. 8 strikeouts tonight.
That's what that good fastball gets you right there. You got to cheat a little bit and then don't recognize the slider, and that's a pretty good slider. Looks like it's going to be a strike and then breaks off the table. Ends up out of the strike zone.
Here's Paul DeYoung. 2 outs. A pitch in the dirt. He struck out and flied out to left. Back in 2015, Paul DeYoung was playing at Illinois State. 14 home runs to lead the Missouri Valley Conference. 2017, 21 home runs as a rookie. Lines it to short. The catch is made. Cardinals go 1-2-3. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Padres on top. Is proud to team up with Snowball Express in their commitment to providing hope and new happy memories to the children of our fallen heroes while on active duty since 9/11. Visit foxsportsupports.com to learn how you can help. Ryan Sheriff is the new pitcher for the Cardinals. Jack Flaherty goes 5 innings tonight. It'll be Solarte, Sanchez, both switch hitters, and then Jabari Blash. Ryan's done a nice job so far.
Has done a nice job. Just taking a look at that. About a 91, 92 mile an hour fastball with a slider. Just doing what you got to do, huh? Just come up here and just keep on rolling.
The thing that I noticed is the hard sink. Got really good sink.
Starting to see a lot of lefties with a lot more run than you used to see. More sink, more run. Makes it tough on the left-handed hitters.
There's ball one. With all the new pitchers coming in and up to the big leagues, familiarity for Carson Kelly. Knows these guys as well as anybody.
See that sinker right there, a little life on it. Even the first pitch didn't really sink, but it's got a good angle to it. Run across the zone and down. Not too much conventional pitching going on the left side these days.
3-0. Solarte, the only run scored off of his bat. Solo shot back in the 4th inning. The 3-0 pitch. Taken low, ball 4. Leadoff walk. Padres have received 5 walks tonight. Here's Hector Sanchez. Cardinals turned a double play back in the 3rd.
This is where the sinker would come in handy right here. A little sinker down and away and try to get a guy like this with some power to roll over.
And there's a strike. There's your ground ball, and it is foul. I like what you said earlier, that all these players have a story of how they get chosen in the draft and then proceed to the minor leagues. And for some, it's a short journey. For Paul DeYoung, for instance. Others, it's a long time. Ryan Sheriff is one of those guys. A lot of bus rides, the early wake-up calls, catch flights.
I mean, you know the game as well as anyone. And it's funny to me is, I guess, I don't know, maybe the draft was different back then. You didn't really hear about very many guys when I was coming up as you did just the first rounders, second rounders. And
there's your double play ball.
Looking for
6-4-3 on the double play.
I feel like back in the day there was a bunch of guys drafted and they were can't misses. And now you see a lot of guys the first and second round maybe not making it to the big leagues as quickly as expected, and all of a sudden getting passed up by the 6th and 7th and 10th round guys that are, like I said, late bloomers and are learning how to play the game as they're growing up. And I think those guys excel. And you see some guys that are really good at a young age just kind of stay right there and maybe get passed up. But I feel like the can't misses aren't there as much as they used to be, because there's a lot more competition between some of these guys in the later rounds. And I think it has to do with the organization and everybody on the same page all the way up and giving everyone that opportunity and not just babying maybe that one guy and pushing them along.
Well, if you're the Cardinals and looking at some of the young players and a player in the organization, how can you not look at how they push players and say, I've got a chance? They're watching. They're clearly watching what we're doing here.
And maybe that's what I'm seeing, because I'm only paying attention to, you know, what we see in St. Louis every day. And it's clear that they're giving a shot to everyone, and when they get here, they're making the best out of it.
Strikeout for Sheriff. Cardinals need some offense, and tomorrow they'll get the pitching of Lance Lynn. It's our Budweiser What's on Tap. Will come your way at 7:30. Note the start time hour earlier, 7:30. Lynn against Clayton Richard. Richard 6-13, Lynn 10-6. And coming off a very good start last time out. The issue will be the blister that was forming over the weekend in San Francisco, and if that carries over to tomorrow. Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. Jose Martinez, Steven Piscotty, and Greg Garcia for the Cardinals. St. Louis, 8 strikeouts in the lineup. They've received 3 walks. And a base hit to right. Back in the first. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Jose had a pair of home runs last night, including one in the 7th inning. Since July 30th, batting close to .370, the 5th highest in Major League Baseball. The 7 home runs, 16 RBIs. Craig Stammen throwing in the pen for San Diego. 1-2 the count.
See a little frustration right there in Jose's eyes with the fastball up and in, and then looked like to be a fastball probably a little bit off the plate.
Out to center field, sinking liner and a base hit. The Cardinals have the tying run on their first hit since back in the 1st inning.
Just does an amazing job of keeping his body under control for such a big guy. And that is just such a nice swing. You get a fastball up by your face, you get a fastball off the plate away, and then a good breaking ball from a guy who's been dealing all game. He's only given up 2 hits, and he puts a swing on it like that. Even though he was out in front a little bit, kept his hands back, didn't get too far out there with his body, and just the ball's hit hard.
Flat out hit. Here's Steven Piscotty, sent one to the wall back in the 4th. Piscotty with a high fly ball, deep left at the wall. The Cardinals have delayed. Piscotty makes it a 2-1 St. Louis lead. How good does that feel for Steven Piscotty with Mom in the stands and his family here? 2-1 Cardinals on top here in the 7th.
Good swing right there. The ball ran right into his barrel. Steven kept his hands in. Such a great feeling.
The Honda home run inning, 2nd night in a row. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. Now Garcia. And that's pulled foul. Giants an 11-3 lead over the Rockies. That's in the top of the 9th. Cardinals could wake up tomorrow potentially and be 2 games out in the wild card. How has this happened?
Just keep grinding it out, Danny.
Man, oh man, oh man. 2-2 inside.
Great take right there by Garcia. 97-mile-an-hour fastball, a little bit wild. The lay off that slider is tough.
And now the walk. So the base hit by Martinez, home run by Piscotty, and Garcia draws the walk, and here comes Andy Green. Lamet, that was the 14th home run he had allowed, and now he'll go to his pen. Craig Stammen was throwing in the pen, a right-hander for the Padres. Lamet, good pitch, much better. 8 strikeouts, only 3 hits allowed, but exits trailing by the score of 2-1. And now it's the Chevy call to the pen. Cardinals looking to add on here in San Diego. A pitch arsenal. Right-hander comes in, fastball, slider, curve, and change. And he's in to face Carson Kelly with a runner at first base, and the Cardinals leading now 2-1 after trailing for basically the entire game until moments ago in that 2-run homer by Stephen Piscotty. Kelly has walked and also flied out to center. And the first pitch is strike. Last 22 games for the Padres, so since August 13th, relievers have held the opposition to just a 184 average. That was the 65th home run in the 7th inning or later by the Cardinals, 3rd most in baseball this year. 0-2 the count. Seventh career home run for Piscotty against the Padres. Most home runs he's hit against any major league team. The 0-2 pitch to Carson Kelly. And a foul ball. Stammen has got that good sinker that bores in on a right-handed batter.
Good sink, little slider. Doesn't throw his breaking ball or his changeup much. You can tell by that second pitch that Carson swung at. Little sneaky too, because he just kind of caught him a little late. Makes 91, 92 look a lot more.
Stammen has thrown 72 innings out of their pen. That's 3rd among National League relievers. 4th overall in the game. Allowed just 3 earned runs in his last 23 appearances. So you get the idea. Tight games. Andy Green goes with Stammen to get to their closer. 0-2 the count. The strikeout of Kelly. The batter will be Alex Mejia. Talked about it last night. You know, you pointed out the Cardinals have struck out 9 times, and you used to say, well, 9, 10, 11 strikeouts. How does a team win? It's like this every night across Major League Baseball.
And you also have the Cardinals, which is such a young team too. A big difference between pitching the AAA level and the big league level. Like talking about all year is just the ability to throw pitches at any time, at any count, for strikes, and you're not used to seeing that.
It's a good point.
Talented group of kids, they're going to hit, but they're also going to swing through a lot of pitches that are not used to seeing.
Luke Voigt at the on-deck circle. Mejia 0 for 2. He's made his presence felt, though, with his glove the last couple of nights. Just missed. Little surprised they did not have Kelly at least bunting in that spot. Garcia at first, and good take there by Mejia. Two to 1 the score. Base hit by Martinez to start the inning. Biscotti the home run to left. Walk to Garcia. Knocked out Lamet, and now Stammen. The 2-2 pitch to Mejia. 3-2.
Good job right here with Mejia by pretty much took the first 2 pitches right down the middle and worked himself into a 3-2 count.
See if the Cardinals want to start Garcia here. A lot of room to the right side of the infield. First baseman holding. That's Myers. There goes Garcia. Swung on and missed. Throw down to second, and it's a double play. Strike him out, throw him out. Time to stretch here at Petco. It was Sanchez throwing him out from his knees. The home run by Stephen Piscotty, a big one. Comes at just the right time. Number 9 this year. 2-run shot. 2-1 St. Louis. to once-in-a-lifetime experiences, from Cardinal games to amazing concerts to shows you just don't want to miss. StubHub connects you with the world of live. Your ticket out, StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Cardinals. So the second inning now for Ryan Sheriff. Eric Ibar, switch hitter. Two to one our score. Let's see where they start Ibar this inning, from this side of the plate, then go to the pen. We shall see. Here's a 1-0. Laced foul. Crowd tonight 21,411. 2-1-4-1-1. John Brebbia throwing in the Cardinals pen. Kirby Yates getting loose for the Padres. 2 balls and a strike. When you think about this road trip, the Cardinals are a Keon Broxton game-saving catch away, and a terrific game on Saturday that they lost in extra innings away from being undefeated on this trip. Driven out to right center. Piscotty on the move. He's got it. Stephen Piscotty with a catch in right. He's got family and friends. You know the story about his mother. She is here. And Stephen, a 2-run homer, and that very fine play in right center. Well, that's a good play.
I was watching Sheriff's reaction too. I think he thought he might have given up a homer, or at least a double right there. Great job for Piscotty to run it down.
Here's Caesar. Lined out to first. Grounded out to short. Tight ball games with something on the line in September. Count me in. It's fun.
Mike would like to see him get through this 7th inning with a couple of easy ground balls and maybe a strikeout here to buy him another inning for that bullpen, so he can get to the guys that he's used to using and trusting. Sheriff very capable of getting righties out with that sinker. Just got to stay around the plate. Good guys to swing. No walks.
No walks is right.
Of the order.
Yep. 3-0 on Caesar. 3-1 on Caesar. And there's a 1-out walk. Now a final. The Giants defeat the Rockies 11-3. Here's what we're talking about in this road trip. St. Louis Cardinals. Game 2. Randall Grichuk down by a run. Runner at first. Keon Broxton game-saving catch. And then the walk-off against Sheriff. The Giants had tied it up late in the 9th inning. The Cardinals led that game 1-0. So the 1-out walk. Manuel Margot. Fouled back. Well, hockey season right around the corner. And some sad news to pass along. One of the original Blues, Noel Picard, passed away tonight in Montreal at the age of 78. One of the great characters of the original Blues, too. And our thoughts and prayers with the Blues family tonight, the family of Noel Picard. 0-2 the count on Margot. He signed with the Boston Red Sox. Margot did at the age of 16, and the Padres picked him up. Boston thought this guy's a good prospect. Padres felt that way too. They traded Craig Kimbrell to get him. Here's a 1-2 pitch. On a play. So the wild card standings, if the Cardinals can hold on and win tonight, they would only be 2 games out the second wild card position. One ball, 2 strikes on Margot. Out of play again. Struck him out. The 1-2 pitch.
It's always interesting when you see a guy that throws the ball down in the zone, and then throws like not even a good slider up in the zone, almost throws it right by the hitter because he's expecting to see that slider break down in the zone, and it just kind of stays up there, nothing slider. Frustrating when you're a hitter.
And a strike to Carlos Asuaje. So 2 outs, and here's the 0-1 pitch to Asuaje. High chopper to first. Martinez steps on the bag. Nice work, Ryan Sheriff. Little fist pump. And with that, he sends us to the 8th in a 2-1 game. Kirby Yates, right-handed pitcher. Chevy called to the pen for San Diego. 2-1 our score, along with Jim Edmonds. I'm Dan McLaughlin, and Scott Warman is here as well. Cardinals will use Breivik Valera, switch-hitting infielder, called up to the big leagues yesterday and started at second base. So he's a switch hitter. And we'll start things off here in the top of the 8th. The Hyundai pitch arsenal, fastball, slider, and change for Kirby Yates. It's a game that the Cardinals could not muster anything offensively. Couldn't get it going. Then all of a sudden, a single, as you mentioned, really good job by Martinez. Tough pitch to hit to center, then the home run by Piscotty. Adds up to a 2-1 lead. That pitch taken high. Stephen Piscotty with the catch in right moments ago. The 2-run homer. 2-1 St. Louis. Two balls and no strikes. After tomorrow night, Cardinals return home. They'll play 6 at Busch Stadium. Good seats still available. The Pirates will be in town Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And that's a series in which the Cardinals will not face Garrett Cole nor Jamison Tyone. Be Weaver, Martinez, and Walker lined up for that series against Trevor Williams, Chad Kuhl, and Ivan Nova.
This is about that time of the year where you got to push. You got to win this game. You got to come out tomorrow with some energy, and then you got to go home against the Pirates, and you got to play hard against that team. Talk about going after teams early that are falling out of the race. Get ahead, and hopefully they give up and get you some easy wins. And this is the time of the year right now where that's super important and can be done pretty easily.
Valera pops it up left side and out of play. One thing Valera did down in the minor leagues, and we mentioned this last night, doesn't strike out very often. He's a guy that puts the ball in play a lot, can play the infield and the outfield for the Cardinals. So the Giants, the 11-3 win over the Rockies. Johnny Cueto picking up that victory. Cubs, a 1-0 win over the Pirates. Garrett Cole went 8 innings, struck out 8 in that game. Loss went to Daniel Hudson. Pedro Strop with the win. 3-2 pitch. And a leadoff walk. Well, the Cardinals were not bunting in this spot last inning. There'll be a pinch runner. That's Tommy Pham. They're dealing with the sore hand and shoulder. So Valera picks up the leadoff walk. Fowler, especially from this side of the plate, the potential to pop one deep. I have noticed from the left side of the plate, he really loads back and then explodes forward. Not as much, I don't think, from the right side, but especially when he gets into first ball or 2-0-2 on count, 3-1 hitters. I mean, he loads back and just explodes.
It's almost
into
like
baseball.
swing mode, like you said. Yeah, he's ready to go. Wants to get a fastball to hit.
Pham back in safely. The 0-1 pitch. pretty big lead for Tommy Pham at first base. A ball and a strike on Fowler. You've seen probably his best move. Now you know that's about as far as you can go. He's leaning there. It's close.
I like that. He's getting off there. He's being aggressive and he's getting back fairly easy. So about right there where you want to be. Think about watching Tommy Pham out there on the bases. I can't help but notice that give the pitcher a little bit of a nightmare because you can't, he's so intense you can't tell. A lot of guys you can tell they're not running or they're running. He looks like he's ready to run every time he's out there. He's got a big lead. He's digging in. If you're watching this right here, you're thinking, man, he looks like he's running.
The 2-1. He is running there. Pitch taken high and outside. Stolen base, Tommy Pham.
Good jump.
th steal for Tommy Pham to go along with 19 home runs. So closing in on a 2020 season. The time did not go in head first, sliding feet first. You were saying the other day, though, he's probably not going to change.
No, you can't change, but definitely when the helmet hits you back in the face, you can remember it. This
Ouch.
is so unusual, that helmet to hit that bag and bounce right back up. Nonetheless, leave a mark and go feet first for a couple days.
There you go. 3-1 pitch now to Fowler. Fowler rips it off the glove of Myers. Pham can advance to third and everybody is safe. I wonder if Myers was just a little ahead of what he wanted to do, which was make the catch and maybe spin and throw to get Pham. Hard hit ball here.
The ball had some topspin too. I think that when that ball's hit so hard, you don't really want to move your feet too much if it's kind of at you. So when you reach out to catch it and it starts to sink away from you like that, you're almost stuck in the ground right there and just couldn't reach as far as he needed to.
So it's an error on Myers.
It's that ball you see a lot of third basemen when they go down to a knee.
Yeah.
And you know, and people thinking, oh, well, he went down to a knee. You have no choice. You have to go down and get that ball, and your only reaction, like I said, you can't step. You don't have enough time. You just kind of have to follow down onto a knee.
And with the 1-run lead for the Cardinals late, infield drawn in, still nobody out. Runners at first and third, and here's Bader. A base hit to right, 1 for 3. High fly ball lifted out to right. Plenty deep for Pham to score. The catch is made. Pham tags up. So does Fowler. Fowler on his way to second, in there safely. Heads up play by Dexter. That throw's got to go to second base.
That's a great play by Dexter. Fowler has got a chance to read that throw the whole way. Obviously the ball's in front of him. So you just take a chance and tag and see what happens. And you're right, that ball's got to go to second base right there, especially after the kind of the bobble.
RBI for Bader, his 8th. Now to Young, and there's strike 1. Fall tonight is fly to left, struck out. And hit a soft liner to short. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Good speed at second base in Fowler. DeYoung with a fly ball into center. Fowler tagging up from second to third. And it brings in Jose Martinez.
This is probably not your typical play right here, but when you can run like this, center fielder doesn't throw that well, why not?
Put yourself in a position to score on a wild pitch, pass ball, anything.
Wild pitch.
Yep.
Anything.
Is there an echo? So here's Martinez. Does he get much to hit in this spot? Would you rather deal with Piscotty? First pitch inside and a ball. 3-1 our score. He struck out, he walked, and a base hit to center to start the rally in the 7th. Outfield deep and straight away. The 1-0 pitch to Martinez. Ripped out to right center. This ballpark, West Coast, late at night, ball gets knocked down. Cardinals pick up some insurance. 3-1 midway through 8. Is brought to you by Bud Light, famous among friends, and by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. 3-1 our score as we move to the bottom of the 8th. So the Cardinals with 3 runs on 3 hits. The 2-run homer by Piscotty, costly error by Will Myers. This is our Chevy call to the pen. John Brebbia is in. Think about the Cardinals bullpen when they decided to go more with Brebbia and Lyons in high leverage situations is when they started to win more of these late games. Those two have done a really nice job.
You can see right there, look at the lefties and righties average. I mean, he's really came in and done a good job I mean, pretty much every time he's been asked. And you're right. The more he pitches, the more the innings are getting done and move on to the next guy. And like, it takes a little bit off the rest of the guys too, because you're not having to come in the middle of an inning. You're not having to go get a lefty in the middle of his innings anymore. It's got to be nice to trot a guy out there and know that he's going to get 3 outs and save the next guy for the next inning.
The Cardinals win this game. It'll be overlooked, but 2 scoreless innings. Ryan Sheriff. Big. Fastball taken high. Will Myers at the plate. It's Myers, Pirela, Solarte, 2, 3, and 4 in the lineup for the Padres. The 1-0. Myers goes down to get it. Hits a fly ball into left center. There's Bader. 1 away. We saw Brebbia make his debut. We were doing the game. It was against Colorado. We didn't know a lot about him. Gets called up. All of a sudden, we're seeing 95 with a slider that's dropping off the table. And, well, this might be a good find.
And I feel like he's gotten better as he's gotten more innings.
Fastball at 95. Pirela has struck out, hit into a double play, and also walked. Here's a 1-1. Got away with that pitch.
This is that slider I'm talking about, that you see it as a hitter and it doesn't come down, and actually because it doesn't break, it almost is right by you as a hitter. Like, you think you're on it, and next thing you know, it's by you.
Ground ball. Mejia shows off the arm. The Cardinals are 4 outs away from taking the first 3 games in this series. This copyrighted telecast, presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cardinals. Zach Duke throwing, the lefty in the Cardinals pen. With the exception of 2 players right now on the field for the Cardinals, the other 7 have been in the minor leagues at some point this year. With the win, the Cardinals are 2 games out in the wild card. It's the second time that Brebbia has looked back at the mound, fiddling with the dirt now.
Like he's slipping down there or stepping in somebody else's hole.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. 1-2 on Solarte. What happens is these wild card teams, they come in hot. Just like that pitch at 95. Brebbia with a strikeout. 3-1 our score. Pitcher Chevy called to the pen. 38th appearance. Cardinals a 3-1 lead. Piscotty, Garcia, Kelly. Big hit in this game. Piscotty's 2-run homer back in the 7th with the Cardinals trailing 1-0. Also sent one to the wall in right. Back in the 7th inning. Pitched a drive, and that's what he did. What has to be one of the most frustrating years, not only of his career, of his life. Trying to put it all together, signs the big contract. There's pressure with that. We all know about the story of his mother. Sent down to the minor leagues at one point, trying to get back on track. Boy, we said it so many times too. If he could just get back to where he was, he could carry this team. He's that kind of hitter.
A lot going on, like you said, and it's tough to play catch up. It felt like he was off balance a little bit. Being, I think, pitched in a little bit more. Got you tried to swing a little harder. Not recognizing the slider. Sometimes it's all about just kind of relaxing a little bit, not trying to do too much.
2-2 the count. Big gap in left center. Piscotty, base hit into left center. So the leadoff man aboard here in the top of the 9th. The batter will be Greg Garcia, who has proven to be a pretty good bunter. We'll see if the Cardinals want to do that, even though they're up by a couple of runs here late. Add some insurance.
Can never have enough.
Tyler Lyons throwing in the Cardinals pen. Piscotty running, hit and run on, and a chopper just foul. It was hit number 300 for Stephen Piscotty in his big league career. Oh, 2. One ball and 2 strikes. Padres will have Sanchez, switch hitter, Blash, Ibar, switch hitter, coming up. And the 1-2 pitch to Garcia. 2-2. Lance Lynn going tomorrow night. Cardinals just might be looking at a sweep. Clayton Richard 6-13 going for the Padres. Something to keep in mind as the Cardinals get closer in the wild card. Cardinals win this game tonight. They stay 4 back of the Chicago Cubs with 7 head-to-head games still left with Chicago.
A lot of baseball left.
You bet. From 0-2 to 3-2. Piscotty, the runner at first base. He is running. Tapped foul. The final week at home for the Cardinals features 4 with the Cubs, 3 with Milwaukee. Now that could be a lot of fun. This trip has been a lot of fun. The 3-2 pitch. Piscotty running again. Base hit into left field. Steven to second. He'll stop there. They throw behind, and he is safe at second base. Barely. And immediately you could see Mark McGwire say safe. So runners at first and second and nobody out.
It's a nice job right there throwing behind Scotty. I think sometimes as a runner and you're running in that situation, you almost feel like you're supposed to be at third base even though the ball's really hit right there in front of you. Because you're moving, sometimes you have to just slow it down and base to base. But I think sometimes it gets caught in your head, just like yesterday when he was thinking about going to third and he didn't really know. I think mentally he thought the ball's in right field, I need to try to get to third, but yet he had never really got running full speed and he just kept going. Thankfully
Kelly bunting and bunts into an out.
maybe he's not used to bunting and that's why they didn't bunt him the first time. Didn't really put himself in a good position right there.
Runners at first and second for Alex Mejia. 0 for 3 tonight. Grounded into a double play, pair of strikeouts. Luke Voit is at the on-deck circle. Voit, his last 2 pinch hitting appearances, he has hit rockets right at outfielders. One to right, one to left. He's on deck. And slider again to Mejia. Getting a steady diet of those. Here's the 0-2. Oh-2 pitch. Out of play. Runners at first and second. The 0-2 pitch to Mejia. 1-2. Hung that one. Ground ball hit to third. Out at second. The turn and out at first. Double play. Sends us to the bottom of the ninth. Lyons and Tuivailala getting loose. 3-1. Pitched in yesterday's ball game, his 42nd appearance. Lefties 190 average, the righties 202. Couple of switch hitters coming up in Sanchez and Ibar. Sandwiched between those two, Jabari Blash. 3-1 our score as we play here in the bottom of the ninth. Upcoming schedule for the Cardinals, wrapping up the long road trip tomorrow night. And then the Cardinals return home. 3 with Pittsburgh, the off day on Monday, 3 with Cincinnati. And then it's the final road trip of the season, Chicago, Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh. Redbirds return home, and that'll be it for the regular season. Sanchez tonight. Grounded out to short, fly to center. Grounded into a double play. Ryan Sheriff, 2 scoreless innings in the 6th and the 7th. Brebbia, scoreless 8th. And now Lions. Tyler Lyons has allowed 1 career run at this ballpark. 7th inning of his major league debut. The irony of that solo home run hit by Jed Jerko. Then of the Padres. The 1-1 pitch. Base hit into right. Is this a changeup here, Jimmy?
I think that is a changeup right there, and I was trying to figure out up in the zone right there. I don't know if I'm a big fan of the changeup with him right there, as good as his stuff is. But got to get the next guy.
There's Blash. Grounded out, walked, and struck out. Martinez at first base at call time to adjust the back pocket. Tying run at the plate. Strike 1. Base hit into center field. It's another pitch that's up in the zone. Runners at first and second.
Ball's up in the zone right now. Just a little timeout, regroup. Go back and work on getting the ball down. Get yourself a double play ball right here. You can kind of restart this inning in your mind, and like I said, get the ball down and work on trying to just get that one pitch at a time. Try to get that ground ball. Try to forget everything else.
Well, after Ibar, you're looking at right-handed batters. Exception of Spangenberg, who's on the bench, a lefty. Lions on quite a run. No pinch runner for the man at second base, which I thought initially they would do after he singled, but they're sticking with Sanchez. And a strike to Ibar. Hitless tonight, he's over 3. Cardinals have turned 2 double plays tonight. The 0-1 pitch. Nasty. 0-2. It's the bread and butter there of Tyler Lyons.
So that's the pitch he needs right there, and it's usually his go-to pitch 2 strikes to a righty. I think you start a guy off with a fastball and you throw that breaking ball right there. That's in the no-hit zone. The ball kind of gets underneath your bat right here again.
Good play by Kelly.
The only thing you can do as a right-handed hitter is basically yank it in the dugout.
Well, if that gets by Kelly, you've got 2 runners in scoring position. Good play. One ball and 2 strikes. Pulled foul. That's what you're talking about there. Not a lot right-handed batter can do with that pitch.
Not a lot, but even when I played, I wasn't not a big fan of the 3 in a row. I think you got a good one, you throw another good one. I like to change the eye angle a little bit. He's got a pitch to work with. It's only 1 and 2. I think you got to be careful with is these pesky hitters like this, like Ibar is a guy who's going to fight you. And when you leave a breaking ball out over the plate, that's the one that he's going to put in play. That's the kind of stuff those guys don't do well with. You throw the fastball up, you make them make a quick adjustment, make a quick movement, and they have trouble with. But they're looking for the off speed, the change ups, the breaking balls, and just kind of put in play and run. Good job right there.
Big strikeout, 1 away. Here's Caesar, rounded out to short, lined out to first, and a walk. Strike 1. Cardinals, if they can hold on, they're 2 out in the wild card. 0-1 pitch. 0-2. He did do 2 double plays and 41 chances. 0-2 pitch. Got him! Back-to-back strikeouts for Lions. And they are 1 out away.
Back to what I was saying. I like the fact that you throw the strike, and then change something up. They know you got a good curveball. Use that fastball and use it out of the zone. And if you have to come back to the curveball, then you do. Just because you're throwing a fastball, it doesn't mean you have to throw it for a strike.
Strike 1. Spangenberg, the final hope for the Padres after back-to-back singles. Oh, 1 pitch. 0-2. A strike away. The Cardinal fans on their feet here in San Diego. The 0-2 pitch. Fly ball, center field. Fowler is there, and the Cardinals hold on for a 3-1 win. St. Louis 2 out in the wild card. Big win for St. Louis to come back late. Piscotty, the big home run. And the Cardinals win it 3-1, and Stephen Piscotty is our Budweiser player of the game.
Good job by Tyler Lyons coming back and started to get the feel of that breaking ball. And like you said, humongous home run by Piscotty.
Stephen Piscotty back in California with family and friends watching on this road trip. One of his biggest hits of the year. A 2-run shot. The Cardinals win it 3-1.